Lights up!
And welcome to our latest episode of Lights Up, the podcast for Putney Theatre Company. I am more than thrilled and delighted to say that I'm joined today by the three sisters in Sense and Sensibility. We have Olivia, Emma and Isabella. Hello, girls.
Hello.
Oh, the three daughters, the three sisters, what can I say? But I'm going to ask you who you play, and then if you can just tell me a little bit about your character for those who are uninitiated in Jane Austen's beloved classic. So, Olivia, I'll start with you. Olivia has been a member of PTC since
2021,
where you played the unforgettable role of
the Dormouse. Oh.
So, Olivia,
I play Marianne. She is the middle of the Dashwood sisters and she is 16 years old. She's very much an emotional, wears her heart on her sleeve, romantic kind of character. She's very much looking for love and to live a life that sort of reflects the stories she reads. She's very poetic. She writes and reads poems all the time. She plays the piano constantly. She's just an arty-farty lady.
She is, and she's impetuous, isn't she? Dear Marianne. She's a the sensibility.
She is, yes.
In the Sense and Sensibility.
Yes, that is a key part of her role.
It is. So what drives her? So she's young, she's impetuous, she's romantic. What's she looking for in life?
She's looking for just the perfect man, I think, because obviously they're struggling because, spoilers, their father has died in the beginning.
So the play starts with a death, which is quite dark, isn't it?
Yes.
And the three girls and their mother are left basically bereft.
Yeah, and we
emotionally
all react to it quite differently as well.
Yeah.
And also financially.
Yeah.
So you basically have no money and then you're booted off to the Devon coast.
Yes, in a cottage. That's not anything like their mansion.
No, Norland Park, which was clearly a grand estate.
Yeah.
So your shift in circumstances have taken a bit of a turn.
Yeah, and they sort of need to find a man, I guess, in their life because there wasn't any, prospects for women.
Not in that time.
Not at all.
Because it's set in the late 1700s, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So at that time, society very much dictated that women had to marry well. So, Emma, moving on to you. You play Elinor.
And she is the eldest of the three sisters, but she is only 19, but she's probably just about the most mature 19-year-old
ever existed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she is very much the Sense in Sense and Sensibility. She is ruled very much by her head rather than her heart, opposite to Marianne. Mm-hmm. And she's sort of the pillar of strength and stability in the family.
So she's the dichotomy
of
Marianne.
Yes.
The black to the white, the chalk to the cheese.
Yeah.
She finds it quite hard to
express emotion. I think she represses all her emotions, much to Marianne's annoyance.
I think she's what Marianne needs.
Yeah.
Though.
No, we balance each other out really well.
The yin to the yang.
She needs a normal, sensible sister.
And Margaret. So Isabella, you play Margaret.
Yes, I do. She's the youngest of the sisters. And when you were talking to these two, you were talking about what they're looking for and what they found. Well, Margaret looks for bugs and animals, and she finds bugs and crabs and animals. She wants to be a naturalist when she's older, and I think that the character, to the play, the character of Margaret gives a nice sort of fun balance, and I'm really enjoying playing her.
I totally agree. I mean, I'm really hoping that Margaret grows up to be a famous naturalist.
Next day at Attenborough, watch out.
I'm really gutted.
Coming.
Really gutted if she doesn't.
Yeah.
Now, the adaptation is by the amazing Jessica Swale, who also did the adaptation of Nell Gwyn. And another little connection, we have also played Nell Gwyn as well. Oh, it's come full circle.
And Cait played my mother.
Oh, the themes of Sense and Sensibility. What are they, Olivia?
So I think love is the main theme in Sense and Sensibility, but it's very much contrasted by the societal pressures at the time. So it's sort of the marriage versus romance. The girls need to find their future and they need to be financially supported, and that means that they need to find a man to marry, but they want love because, you know, they've grown up, they've probably seen their parents in love, and it's about seeing these men and trying to find some connection with them. That doesn't just, you know, mean financial protection.
And as well as the suitor kind of love, I think it's also a familial love between the family.
Yeah.
Because that is like the crux of the play, is the love between the sisters.
Yeah, it's the
as well.
sisterhood as well.
Yeah.
Like,
And I have to
that's probably
say-
the central part as well.
That comes across very much so in rehearsals. I mean, but the fact that, I mean, you don't actually... Spoiler alert, people. You don't look alike necessarily, individually, but collectively, you do all look like you are sisters.
Yeah,
it's
we're
quite
all
weird.
Yeah.
similar enough.
We are.
When we get the same
similar.
hairstyle.
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. When we
That's
have little
true.
curls in our hair.
That's true. Marianne is looking for a proper love match. And of course, in those days, that wasn't really necessarily top priority, was it? You know, it was to marry
Arranged,
well
Yeah.
and arranged, which is, of course, is an anathema to us today, to have someone forced upon you.
Yeah.
But what about Elinor, though?
I think Elinor is looking for financial stability as well as love, but she's not looking for a man that is rich necessarily, but she values propriety above everything else. So she's looking for a kind-hearted man who is sensitive and similar to her and not sort of loud and gauche, but that will also provide, and it can be a simple life, but the stability in her life
That's the key.
that she's looking for.
Yeah, and Isabella. Little Margaret.
She's not thinking about any of that.
No, I hope she's never going to marry.
No, I hope she'll like find her own way in the world. And
She's going to be a naturalist.
Yeah.
She is.
She's got her own career to
The
get.
amount of times they say that throughout the play as well. Yeah, I mean, you've even got moments when Mrs. Jennings starts to try and set her up, or like plant the idea of Margaret going out and finding someone, with her reaction being just like running off the stage. It almost, you know, like you can see that she's like aware of it, and yeah, like you can, you know, like even though she's young, you can still see that she's very much aware of everything that's going on.
Well, she rejects it. I mean, she basically goes, hold on a minute, I know what's going on here. I'm out of here.
Yeah. She immediately rejects it.
Well, she's only 13 in the play, isn't
Exactly. Yeah, she's a little
she?
baby.
A little young, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Thinking about future husbands.
For sure.
But she's
for
also
sure.
like 13 going on 8.
Yeah.
very young.
For sure. She's very young.
But you've got the contrast of Elinor and Marianne, like you couldn't get a starker difference in personality, but they are both still having that romantic subplot.
Yeah.
Whereas Margaret
Margaret's
is
just got-
completely, there's
In
just
her own
nothing
world.
to do with that.
Yeah.
You're just living your life and we're like worried about the future and our own self-interest, and
Exactly.
you just want to look for some crabs
Yeah.
on the
my
beach.
Yeah.
And I think really for Margaret, moving to Devon is a joy.
Yeah.
It's heaven.
Yeah.
There she is,
Yeah.
looking in rock
With the
pools.
nature around her.
Yeah. Now we ought to talk about the other characters. Well, obviously the men in the play. We have Willoughby and Colonel Brandon.
Yes, my loves.
Your loves, indeed. I mean, very much like Elinor and Marianne. They're also very, very different.
Yes.
And
Couldn't
so-
be more different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course we meet Willoughby. We won't give too many spoilers, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows the story. So
Willoughby is the perfect man in every way for Marianne. You know, she gets saved by him, so it's like a knight coming to rescue her. And
in fact, Margaret calls him a knight,
I
doesn't
mean, yeah,
she?
she
Yes.
does. She asks if
Your
he's a knight.
Your knight.
And he's just this perfect gentleman that really has the same interests.
Seems
to be the
perfect,
perfect
yeah.
gentleman, has all the same interests. He loves poetry. Everything's perfect, except it's not,
Yeah,
because
it
nothing
is.
is ever perfect.
No.
Secrets come out. He's not the man Marianne or any of the Dashwoods thought. The Dashwoods are all like besotted with him because he really charms everybody. And all the time, meanwhile, that this Willoughby romance is happening, Colonel Brandon is there in the background.
Poor Colonel.
Very much in the
Very
background.
much
like,
in the
literally
background.
In the background
Every
of
scene,
everything.
he's
Yeah.
sort of lurking.
Beautifully played by Alexei.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love him.
Oh.
So great.
It's just a sort of a tower of strength and quietly brooding, isn't he?
Yeah. And he's there and he loves Marianne, but Marianne is so infatuated with Willoughby, she just doesn't give Brandon a
can't see
second
it.
look. And
I
then
think he's
obviously
old.
he is old. He's
Older. I think they say.
Older.
Older.
We've reduced his age to 30. Yeah.
Which is very young. And so Elinor, her true love is of
Edward.
course
Yes, Edward. And I think he is
beautifully played by Josh. I just have to quickly
Yes.
add in.
Oh,
Yes.
so well played. He is very sweet and sort of insecure and sensitive and, just a bit lost.
I do worry about Elinor and Edward, though. I do worry
Yeah.
that they can ever actually manage to articulate anything between them.
Yeah.
He's awkward with
It's all- yeah,
words.
he's
He
so
just can't
awkward.
speak.
Words.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
words.
And she's
So
slowly like
say.
encouraging him. She's just like, please go on.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
just like, words, I'm lost all the time.
Bless him.
And then she
Bless
doesn't
him.
even share her thoughts.
No,
So it's very
it's-
difficult. No communication whatsoever.
Exactly.
I would love
all
to be able
feelings
to.
are repressed.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to look into their futures and see where they will end up.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, they're in their neighbour houses, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
about Margaret.
Well, Margaret,
You
you know,
come
will
and
be a
join us.
famous
She'll be
naturalist.
camping out in the garden.
She'll be travelling the world. Elinor and Edward.
Happily settled down. I think,
Yeah.
but Elinor would very much wear the trousers in this
Oh, for
relationship.
sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
She's the man in the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And do we think Marianne and Brandon? What do we think there?
I think Marianne grows up a bit. She matures. She becomes the person that Brandon needs. And then the other way around as well. Brandon is definitely who Marianne needs, a stable, grounding kind of presence. Sort of like how Elinor is. And I think they'd be happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Marianne would still, go out in nature and probably get lost. And
All you
I
needed
don't know,
is
go a
a
bit
man
crazy.
to rescue you.
yeah. And he did. He is a sexy
Oh,
hero.
from the cliffs. Yeah, exactly.
Not quite the sort of storyline of 2023, is it?
No.
No.
But
Then,
yes. She'll still write her poetry and
So of course, in the late 1700s, it was very different. As we said, we've touched on women had to marry in order to find financial stability. So where do you think the themes of the play, the book, are relevant to 2023 and our time as women now?
I think probably the fact that they have no career prospects, which is something Elinor does talk
Yeah.
about, is just, something that you are frustrated about and you would
Definitely.
be now.
Yeah.
Obviously we've had the whole
Yeah.
movement of women having jobs, so we can do that now.
Exactly.
But that is still a present thought back in the late 1700s. It's not like they were completely happy with the fact that they had to rely on men.
And it's still something that we're aware of now
Yeah.
as well.
And getting equal pay and getting into, senior positions in work as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah.
there are still obstacles in
Yeah.
the way.
Exactly, and also actually how inheritance
Yeah. Big
has
one.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with progenitor, because of course it was the eldest male that would have inherited the title, the land, the estate, as in with Norland Park. Because there are no boys, the estate. Now, how are rehearsals going?
I love
You
it.
can
So
lie.
much fun.
No, it
Yeah.
was very fun.
It is great. I think the cast is just so great and we all get on
Yeah.
really, really well.
It's so
Yeah,
nice
it's
to have
so
such a big
lovely.
cast as well, because
Yeah.
obviously nobody is doubling as a character, so we've got actors for every single
Yeah, that's so
character.
true.
That's right. I mean, Jessica Swale wrote it with the characters being doubled up, apart from you guys and
Yeah.
a few others.
No, it was
you
going to
were?
be Lucy Stealing.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I don't really understand how
That's a
that
bit
would have
weird, isn't
worked.
it?
No.
It wouldn't have really worked. And I think
No.
that's why Ben decided not to
I
double
would be
up.
confused if I was watching. I was like, why is their little sister
Yeah, like all of a sudden.
now
Right.
taking Eleanor's
Yeah,
man?
right?
I think it's because it was performed in a very small stage.
Right. Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
very much more of an ensemble piece with doubling up then,
Yeah,
which I
sure.
don't think it would have worked at all
No.
Not
on our stage.
no.
It looked, as you rightly say, why is Margaret now playing Lucy? That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So costumes have arrived today.
Oh my God, I'm so
Yay.
excited.
Exciting.
I mean,
This
come
is
on.
the most exciting part.
I mean, who doesn't love dressing up? And I think there's a dance, there's dancing in this.
Yes.
Which
Dance
is happening.
rehearsal.
Dance rehearsal with amazing Lyndall, who will be teaching you Regency dancing.
Oh my God.
Which is a great time to remind listeners to get your tickets, people. Use your place, www.putneyartstheatre.org.uk. A link straight into Sense and Sensibility. We're also part of the Wandsworth Arts Fringe, which is a festival organised by Wandsworth and is a cultural extravaganza over 3 weeks. It starts on the 9th of June and ends on the 25th. So we are one of the last plays that will be part of that whole scheduling. So please do book your tickets to come and see us. I can't wait. It's going to be a corker, isn't it?
I'm really looking forward to it.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you.
I haven't asked too many hard questions.
No.
I won't let you
We
get
stumbled away through it.
Yes,
get into your costumes or I should be in trouble. Anyway, thanks very much. And goodbye, dear listener. We shall be speaking to you soon. Take care now. Bye.
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 This is a real Putney Theatre Company production. Do share the podcast with your friends and take a look at our website, searching online for the Putney Theatre Company. So that's it for now. See you next time.